Bring us up to speed for a little bit of inspiration.
I'll fucking do it. This will be
Hey.
easy.
It will be easy.
We successfully had teleported into Umeli's base camp at the foot of some uh, ancient artifact. We actually did a pretty fair job of whipping ass as we tried to get through. Only some of us kind of got our teeth kicked in, but only kind of a little bit. No one went down. I'm still very, very proud of us for that.
Ooh.
Um, and when we had finally had Umeli on the ropes, she ciphered herself a teleportation away, and shortly after that, the device which had been being fed ciphers, as far as we could tell, was activated and warped us into a strange new land. And then I blacked out. Um, we found ourselves in a strange new world that we have come to above table understand to be New York in 2023. Um, we used our travel cipher to track Umeli without bringing ourselves to any personal harm. I'm choosing to not talk about the things that have happened during the transportation.
Fair play.
Um, but we did find Umeli and catch her and tell her that she like either you're going to die here with us or you are going to take us back to Indari or sorry, yes. um and She has let us know that there is like a focus somewhere that is on a building visible to us but far away, that if we can try to get to, theoretically we'll make some form of progress. We also are aware that there is a present threat down below us, on the ground floor of the third story we are on, um, and that's where we ended.
Yeah, very good. Go ahead and take inspiration if you could. um, yes, you were all in a very large, like extremely large building, in a city bigger than anything you've ever seen, full of very large buildings. You have made your way to the third floor of this place. You are currently on a balcony area. The walls here are made of glass, allowing you to see out. You can see that there are um, people that are moving in a way that indicates that they are trained individuals. They are not randomly, mucking about. You all have been in the presence of military and guards. You can recognize people that are uh, trained to respond to situations. There's not many of them currently. They are walking along the outside of the building. They appear to be moving with purpose, ostensibly to find a way into this place. There's roughly about half a dozen of them that you can see. Um, there is the wreckage behind you all that you have made your path in. Um, there are floors still above you, and there are floors below you. The In this moment, things that you are seeing and observing. Obviously, there's some sort of potential altercation of some kind with whatever is below, should you interact with them in some fashion. That ostensibly means that people like that could be in other places here. Um, The people behind you, not there are a lot of there's still a lot of people like trying to scramble their way out. A lot of people on the floor still, um, but there are maybe half a dozen that are like standing up and beginning to like yell, that have an aggressive nature to them, but their fear keeps them at bay. You also see a number of people also holding these strange, thin, rectangular objects in their hands. Some shine a light, some do not, but all appear to be just like pointed at all of you. You can hear blaring sound, like loud sounds that appear to be coming. The sound is arriving closer to here. The other thing is that there's still a shit ton of people in this building. Just peering over the balcony below, there's just a sea of people that some continue to move. A lot have stopped and are like looking up to figure out like what's the commotion all up above. There's still a lot of chaos and activity happening here. Um, the one thing that you know for sure is that the time to take advantage of this chaos dwindles with every moment you dawdle or delay, that dwindles. um, there are innumerable ways out of this building. Supposedly it's a structure like any other built by humans. They have to have ways in and out. You came through a way in and out. Though you are unfamiliar with the building, you don't know exactly where all of them will be. You know there's certainly a way out the way you came, um, but there's most likely all number of mundane traditional exits along the bottom floor, possibly on other sides of the building. And of course, you have your abilities and magic at your display to create your own way out. Um, Another thing of note is this building is also so large, and again, there's so many people in here. You think if you got to the opposite side of this building, the people there wouldn't even know anything has happened yet. But you are here in this moment. There has been a tenuous agreement with Umeli. She seemingly has an idea of a way out. You are currently assessing what your exits will be. Um, I
Do
leave
we
it to
want
you,
to?
but you can also ask any questions as well.
Are there any big windows around?
The walls are all glass, so
Okay.
like essentially in this area of this atrium here,
Yeah.
everything is a window, from the
How close
bottom to
is
the
the
ceiling.
nearest building?
Mhm.
The nearest building from this location would be um, roughly like 30-40 feet
The roof?
from the roof. Oh, I mean, the roof itself is going to be way taller than that. You said the roof of the nearest building?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Um, so
I
roughly
think
about
we're only
30
on the
feet
third floor.
away, you're on the third floor, but the glass goes up to the fourth. The building next to you um, is roughly, it's roughly 90 feet up. But from your position, like you can see that that is where like the break line of the building is. You can't see the roof surface, right? But you obviously understand like would be a roof up there.
Okay. Do we want to ride the crowd out, kick through one of these windows, and try to get up to another roof, or I guess hide somewhere else in this building?
Let me ask one more question just before we get going. Safe to assume no one understands anything that's being spoken by the people around us.
Um, I was gonna have a whole thing for this last session, but
Okay.
we didn't do it.
Yeah.
Everyone is speaking common. You
Okay.
actually understand what they are saying. and
Okay.
they ostensibly understand what you were saying, though the dialects and accents are different.
Right. I think our best bet is to get lost in the crowd and try and get out of the way we came in. Does anyone else have any other magics that might help us disguise ourselves or evade detection?
Not really, no.
Well, look, I can disguise myself. In addition, I can make one person invisible. If someone hops into this picture frame and I'm staring daggers at Umele, and someone else holds onto it and I make that person invisible, essentially I can make two people invisible.
Great idea.
I mean, okay, looking around the room, there's a bunch of, I guess, humans. So
All
the
humans.
least human
Merv and
people
I
need.
sort of stand out.
I
I
think
mean-
Ragnarok might have you one leg up.
Yeah, we got a furry
Yep,
one, we got a
that's true.
fiery one, and we got a. I guess the horns. That could just be like a.
Oh, there's a whole dude with horns right here.
I mean, you're blue, but.
Paint.
I see someone's blue over there, so
Yeah, okay. I mean, I could just be a little feller. They don't know.
I think
It is
Ragnarok
good,
invisible
they're all-
holding the painting's probably our best bet.
It's good I'm wearing shoes since there ain't many shoeless people here. I'm saying. Are there any phones somebody has dropped on the ground? Those little devices?
I mean, you don't know what it is that they are holding. For
Yeah.
all you know, they could be weapons, right? Like you have
I know,
no
that's
context
why
to understand what they are.
I'm looking for one of those little things that somebody has dropped on the ground because I think they might be weapons. Since everybody's pointing them at us in a sustained fashion, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
Cipher.
I mean, it's a yeah, right. Like it's a chaotic situation. Go ahead and roll
Oh,
D100
hey, wait.
for me.
I got a thing for that.
What?
Summon cell phone.
It pulls up the magic box.
Everybody,
Okay.
everybody, just chill the fuck out. Everybody's gonna be fine. That is a 60-foot radius of calm the fuck down.
Oh my god.
We're just gonna walk for a minute and just ride the chill out wave.
Wait,
Okay.
it affects
Roll 1d6.
D6 can do.
Nice.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
So a minute plus 5 rounds. Okay. These you see like the people that were like aggressive before all begin to, they stop yelling. They seem to be kind of indifferent to what has happened here. They then turn and begin just trying to assist the people that are injured all around them. Nobody appears to be taking any aggressive action towards you. The 60-foot radius, you also see it's 2 rounds. Well, it's 2 rounds after it's 2 rounds after activation that it occurs. Do you stay where you are? Do you move? Because you ostensibly can get further away from your situation before it turns on, right? That's what I'm saying. So do you stay still or do you move?
We should probably go. I don't know where, but we should just why don't we go closer to wherever we're
Down?
trying to get?
Yeah, we'll just follow the screaming crowd. Maybe look frightened. You look real fucked up, so that'll match fine. Points at Rainier.
Okay. You begin moving down the balcony area, like it just opens up to an atrium, but then it continues along the walls of what would be, like exhibition rooms and whatnot, and then becomes eventually a hallway to itself, essentially. You still see the walls are glass, so you can see, through them. There is a separation between you and the glass of, about 10 feet or so. So, like, you're not touching the glass. You're still, set aside from it a bit. The cipher activates. Everybody nearby becomes non-hostile. You also notice peeking from the little balcony area, like the little just separation between the levels here. The people that were like moving swiftly outside, they slow down and begin just conversing with one another. So you have delayed them from whatever movement they were making. You see
Delete
that.
that from my sheet. I'm sorry. I've been trying to figure that out.
Any errant cell phones?
Not the correct role for errant cell phone, but you can
Well,
continue doing a check for that. If you
I
like.
did a 79. You told me to do a 1D100.
I did tell you to do that. That is not the
Okay.
correct range
Got it.
to find the cell phone.
Reverse mind games.
Right. You're moving along the hallway. You're entering into parts of the back of the panicked crowd. You can push forward if you want to be aggressive to try to get more space, or you can just try to move with them. There are a lot of people, so like in a few moments, you're basically just going to hit the blockade of people, and then going to have to choose what to do again at that point.
I say we try to fall in.
Yeah, blend in.
Okay.
I'll blend. No problem.
Okay. If you are in a place where people are dressed fantastically, and you are in a place where there are people that are quite literally dressed similar to you. Their outfits are not entirely correct or accurate, or as well made, but you can see people whose dress is like, that's basically what I'm wearing.
I'm assuming when you're saying that you mean in style, but or are you saying we can see a Cal cosplayer?
Correct.
Wait, which one?
You can see people cosplaying as you all.
What the fuck? Deeply strange. Let's move on.
So, there are a lot there. Again, there's so many people here that slipping into the crowd is going to be honestly pretty easy. But there's a lot of people that are slowing your movement. So, staying with the crowd, you can move through, but you're going to be losing time. So there are faster movements available to you. You could push through the crowd. You could just jump over the balcony or climb down to get downwards closer to exits, which would be faster. Or you can again spend time but move with the crowd.
I think we should try to move a little fast, but I also don't think we should drop down any balconies.
Yeah. Anything that would draw obvious attention to us like that, I think should be out. But if we could, hurry the crowd along.
Okay. If you have like extraneous ways to hurry the crowd, you're welcome to put them forth. The normal thing would be how you move in a big crowd or at a concert, right? Is you put the biggest person in the front and they start shoving their way through, right? And you all move as a line behind them.
I'll follow Ragnarok.
Yeah, Merv obviously is able to kind of maneuver in this place pretty easily. But there are so many people here that you do run the risk of getting lost from everyone. If you if something bad happens, there's just again so many legs here. Okay, if Ragnarok wants to get in front, how would you get your way through? What kind of skills or abilities, or what would you use to make your way past?
Well, wait, are we giving Ragnarok the mirror and then making him invisible? It- That was put forward as an idea.
I'm
I-
good with either.
I think it's a good idea to do that, but that just means we'll have a ghost pushing people around, which might actually be advantageous.
I mean, I can also just crawl on the ceiling, just stay out of everyone's way.
I would
That
still
that
like
would be
to
an issue for
attract
us,
more
because then we
attention.
don't know where you are.
Rendezvous.
We don't know where we are.
Then perhaps I don't know if invisible is the best idea for me since I can push people.
Fair enough. I was just asking because it was put forward
I
as an
think
idea.
it's a good idea to put Umeli in the portrait, though, if we
Yes.
can.
Yes.
I mean, she will refuse to.
Away with her.
Yeah, I mean, her initial reaction is obviously, I'm your way out. I don't know what that thing is or what it does, and I don't want to be put in a position where I don't have some idea of what's happening. I know that you are in control here, but that seems a bit odd. I blend in better than all of you do.
Really? I don't see anyone that looks like you around here. I see lots of people that look like us. I think we blend in much better. Furthermore, as you pointed out, you're our way out. We have to protect you. The opposite is not true. Your trust with us is zero. You'll get in the painting or you'll die right here, and you'll do it right now.
Make a intimidation check. You see, like, there's a resistance in her eyes, and then she nods and acquiesces.
Nice.
Does she still have her hands floating around her?
No, her hands are locked against her body under her cloak. Nobody like she is very she understands how to hide herself from people.
I don't have a ton of features, so I think just using my overwhelming strength is probably key to pushing my way through this crowd and creating a path for everyone behind me.
Yeah.
Throw anyone.
I can make him bigger.
I don't know if that's gonna help.
I think that might be an
Yeah,
issue.
we're trying to stay low to the ground now.
All right, give me athletics check then.
I rage.
Luckily, the bubble is covered.
Grow
in
a fucking
green
tail.
blood feathers.
All right, athletics. Here we go.
Oh my.
Fuck
Oh, yeah.
yeah!
Wow.
I throw somebody. No, I'm kidding. Everyone creates a path.
Do you throw some?
No, absolutely not. We are blending in.
Just I need to know.
No, I'm just very forceful. I'm not pushing anyone down, but I'm like very forcefully pushing my way through.
Yeah. With the 28, it's not even that you're forcefully. It's just that as you move through, your pressure and size is able to cut through the crowd, and you all make on the nat 20. You all make great time down this hallway and make it to the other end of the building. You have left behind the panicked crowd. You are in. You're at the end of this building, so the hallway is now turning to a left. You see that far ahead of you, there are people that are separating out and seem to be moving downwards somehow, and then people moving upwards at the same time in the same kind of area. So these strange kind of moving stair system.
Mm.
This area where you're at now, these people don't know has anything has happened yet. This is again how big the building is.
I mean, we go down one of those magic stairs?
I think so.
It probably ain't magic. It's probably ancient arcana, but ain't close enough.
Down till we hit the ground and then get out.
I mean, luckily the whole fucking thing looks like it's made of glass. So if that's the same, the bottom, we just kick through something.
You move through the crowd, Ragnarok leading the way. You find the stairway system. You can take it down, and it brings you to a what looks to be a bottom floor here. You can see that there are like running by, like down the hallway. You see two people in that same kind of blue blackish uniform dress that are like running full speed down the hallway, yelling for people to get out of their way. But they move past you all.
Keep going with the
Looking
crowd, getting it.
Looking around, you can see that again. There's glass panes on the walls nearby. About 100 feet, sorry, about 50 feet to your north, there is some side doors that people are taking to get outside.
Yeah.
Taking it.
Okay, you find your way following this crowd, pushing through them. You find your way outside of this building. It is then that you hear alarms going off inside the building, and you hear a lot of groans and moans from people who are disappointed. And you see the crowd all begin moving and turning towards the doors as well. The outside area of this building is beginning to swell with people. You can see in the distance, on the streetways around this building, as you're looking, down your large sight lines, there are more of those mechanical carriages with the strange blinking lights that are arriving more and more by the minute here. And you see more of these people beginning to rush towards the building, and some of them are beginning to set up like a perimeter, but it's very loose right now. There is time to use the chaos still to get out of here. The question is, from your immediate vantage point down on the street level, you don't see the tall building anymore. You're gonna have to find one of the street lines to see if you can see it again.
Do we know what side of the building it was on relative to where we are?
To where you are currently, it would be to your right, kind of southish.
Would it be like on the other side of the building?
Where I mean, like you have moved away from its location.
Yeah.
So if you
We
moved
just round the
right
building.
and then south a little bit, then you would be looking in its direction again.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's get on.
Okay. Making your way down that streetway, you eventually come to a large intersection and roads where you can see that tall building in the distance. It looks very large from where it is. Again, like the impossible structures. Nothing in this city is like anything from where you guys are. There's still a lot of foot traffic around here. Going in that direction, you will then lose this kind of cover of the crowd if you keep heading towards that building. The people that are, similar dress and everything, you will leave all that behind.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I mean,
What are we gonna do?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Had to happen eventually.
Now it's a fair distance away. So the choice is how are you making your approach to it? Are you walking directly out like on the streets out in the open? Are you trying to stealth your way there? Are you trying to move as best you can, like go into a building, wait a bit, then go out? Like how is it you are approaching your travel here?
Just before we do that, um, Cal would like to try something. I'm just gonna explain to you what Cal's thinking, so that you can make a determination as to what happens here. Cal's gonna try and pick a pocket or two, right?
Oh.
And I mean, his thought is this place is fucking weird, right? The chances they are going to take whatever coin I have in my pocket isn't high, right? I want something of the realm, right? But obviously, like, I'm gonna go for something that I think might be a coin purse or something. You know, like I don't know anything.
Sure. Give me sleight of hand.
That
Okay.
almost ended so bad.
Yeah. I mean, you see like it's not just one person. There's several people that you hit along the way.
Mhm.
I mean, 25, right? It's dealer's. I mean, it's I say dealer's choice, but it's really like it's like
Dealer's
what's
choice.
right. What stuff do you want? Right? They like there's wallets. There's you could take one of those rectangles from them. There's jewelry that you'd have access to, like they have these weird bracelets. Some people do.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm thinking, um, I'm trying to get something that would hold money, right? I know that what I use to hold money is a coin purse. It's a little sack, right? And
Yeah,
so,
you don't see like during your maneuvers, nobody has like little
right.
pouches like yours.
So I mean, I think the next best thing that I'd sort of go into is I'm going into purses and just grabbing random things in purses.
Okay.
Right?
Oh,
Figuring
it-
that's the closest thing I can see to what I know to be a coin sack or a coin purse.
Sure. Again, same thing for ease of use, right? I'm not going to
Mhm.
randomly
Right.
just determine what's in a purse. You
Right.
can get money, you can get phone,
Yeah, money.
jewelry.
I'm just looking for cash.
Cool. You also get some women's sanitary product while
Mhm.
you're in there as well. You
Eh,
have these things at your disposal.
Great. Yeah, okay. Then I'm done.
Okay. With the 25, nobody is the wiser for it. Um, um, so the question then becomes like, what is your approach? You know, how are you handling your travel to this building?
I mean, the road obviously seems fucked because it's covered in the big metal carriages moving really fast all the
Mhm.
time.
Yeah, but we can follow foot traffic and flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of foot traffic. Yeah.
I don't think we serve an advantage by trying to necessarily be stealthy, but just following the street paths. Like if we're looking down the path, like the road, we can see that this place is um a grid. So we can just move
Correct.
by grid.
It's
Yeah,
easy for
so
you to begin making that determination.
straight and then
Your
like
city's
straight.
a little wobbly, but this one is like more structured.
Yeah. And like we can obviously see people crossing at designated areas kind of. So I think that like follow the foot traffic and just keep heading in that direction.
Okay.
Or do one up, like cross the street, one up, cross the street to our left, basically. Just do
Okay.
like a not a zigzag, but we just constantly gradually move
Serpentine, Shelley.
Serpentine, yeah. You see, on like every other street, you are seeing in the distance or rushing by you, those metal carriages with those flashing lights and sirens on them. This city, uh, for as large as it is, certainly has some kind of response system in place. It's taking you some time to get out of there. It's taking you some time to move along the streets, determine your orientation. You have an idea of what you're doing, but it is an unfamiliar space still. Um, you begin passing by. You begin passing by people that are. You can see like they've stopped in the walkways and are looking at those rectangular devices and are like turning towards each other and talking about some kind of an attack on the city, some kind of attack on the convention center is trending right now. And they like are turning and like looking back in that direction to see, saying like, "Well, I don't see fire or anything. What do you think happened?" And one of them is holding up the rectangle, and you see this place doesn't have magic, but what they're showing, what they're holding, seems to be magical in nature. You see yourselves in a. It's like someone is scrying on you. You see yourselves coming out of the sphere, crashing through the wall. Your interaction with Umeli and all the people nearby. They move their finger around, and you see it from a dozen different angles. You see your approach in the building as you're moving in the sphere. Information of what has happened in your actions. You look around and like there's got to be 300 people standing in the street looking at these same rectangles. The information of what has happened is already spreading this quickly.
Move faster.
Time to start running.
Just FYI, I'm slapping that leadership bud on my neck.
Uh, okay, cool. You keep it. Yeah, you remind me of any of the stuff that you
Will do,
have.
yeah.
And all that stuff. Yeah.
I also think like we can move quick, but I don't think I would advise against us actually running. I think that would be very bad for us. As far as like whatever pacing may influence this, I don't think running is a good call at this moment.
Right. Now, the information here is moving quickly. It seems like it is caught up to you fat. Like obviously you don't like you guys don't you as your characters don't understand this, but things your characters don't know is how fast information moves in this world. Currently, you are trending online. Within the hour, this will be headlines everywhere. So you as players, you have a limited time before things start not turning on you, but like some people might recognize that you're dressed in these strange costumes, that kind of thing, right? So in order to kind of adjudicate your movements through the city at this moment, there's a couple different ways we can handle this kind of skill challenge, right? It can be stealth based, but with a low DC, because I know most of everyone is not very good at stealth. It can be an endurance test, which is Constitution saving throws, which most of you are good at. It can also be a free form check, where each of you chooses an ability or a magic thing that you can think of that would like assist in the manner. So there's and in that you can also like, hey, I want to do a con save, that kind of thing for it. So there's a couple different ways we can go about it. The stealth one is 3 success before 3 failure. The con save is 3 success before 3 failure. With everyone doing checks, then it's 6 successes before 6 failures. So I leave it to you all to decide in this moment kind of how you would like to approach it.
I know stealth is unpopular, but I currently have advantage on stealth. So unless we're doing freeform, that's going to be my vote.
How long has it been since we arrived in this place?
Arrival, probably about a half hour total.
Okay. Can I use like a wonky like investigation roll to try to get a sense for the way the street grids work here to try to forge a more direct path?
You could, but that sounds like that'd be part of a skill challenge that is yet to be determined by the group, right?
That, like, I think a survival or something could be done if we did like the third option.
Hmm.
I guess we just try to stealth then.
I mean, I know that most of us aren't good at stealth, so like, if people want to vote that out, vote it out.
What if we just start praising Jesus?
We don't know who Jesus is.
I think a couple of us would have a real issue with that, actually.
Okay, then I guess we run, huh?
My vote is Constitution, but for obvious
To be
reasons.
fair, that seems like the most average across the board.
we could do an alls count, and we all have to roll, and you could do con, and someone could do survival, someone could do an int based something. Like we could do an all call, but then we'd all have to roll well.
Yeah, the to maybe help make the decision, right? The stealth is just DC 10, right?
Oh.
It's strictly because of how bad you all are at stealth.
That's a handicap.
The con saves is DC 12, right? So it's just really accounting for like bad failures. And then the skills, because you would likely choose something you have proficiency in, is DC 15. So it is more difficult to do the things you are likely better at. If that makes a difference in like how you guys want to approach it.
To potentially help with the stealth, Ember, I'm looking in your direction, but I know you're not the only one who's bad at stealth.
I'm also a clinky clank now.
I can make one of you invisible.
Ooh.
That would
I mean-
certainly help, but
Yeah, I would allow that to give help on the like we have been doing. Also, Cal, do you have your is Kieran Jr. out or in their pocket dimension?
Right now, Kieran Jr.'s in the pocket dimension.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
wanted
that
to
was
make
the
sure.
last thing you did was send him
Yeah.
to the pocket dimension. I mean, I guess we try to sneak then.
Yeah,
Such
Okay.
as we
it's only
are
1 point difference from my con save, so I'll go with it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Um,
Mr. Master Rolls.
Okay.
So proficient.
We're
This one too?
gonna do 3 rounds of stealth checks.
Oh no.
So this will be the first round of it. Everyone roll stealth. The DC is 10. And because there's 6 of us, you need 4 people to succeed for the count as a group
Oh,
success.
thank God.
Jesus.
Oh, I don't want to click this button.
Hey. Hey.
How fast? Okay.
for once, largely because she is exceptionally shell shocked,
Oh no.
Ember Prime has shut
damn
her
Cal.
mouth.
Okay. Okay. Wow, with the disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Good Ember. Hell yeah. Okay. You managed to move your way through both blending in with the crowd, but also ducking down alleyways as if you see larger crowds that you're unsure about. Okay. That's one success. Let's get another round.
In one of those alleyways, I am casting disguise self on myself.
On yourself? Okay.
Yeah. Just to look like whatever the average person I see walking down the street is.
Okay. That is just a success for you because
Mhm.
you are taking the look of someone just on their own. Okay, let's get stealth checks from everybody except Cal.
Oh, no.
Oh, hey.
Are we all rowing
It
twice?
couldn't last. We knew it couldn't last.
Oh,
No, you roll once.
I
Unless
saw
you
so
have,
many people throw out doubles. I was like, wait, I was
Yeah, some of
listening.
us have disadvantage and advantage.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
this
cool.
is going so well. We're losing one person at a time.
It's
Yeah, we're
you have
trending down.
2 successes, 0 failures, 1 more round.
There's at least one failure.
Oh no,
Holy
there's
shit.
2.
Jesus.
Oh no.
Okay, get your dice off my character sheet.
Oh, we need one more person. We need one more person.
I guess I might use it.
I'm gonna throw out an inspiration.
There was a natural
At-
20 with
at
that
who?
4.
God damn.
You still beat it.
Okay. Um.
Hold on, I'm running the numbers. I might use an inspiration on mine.
Sure. I will say it'll be a failed round if you don't succeed.
Yeah,
If you want to roll again, that's
I'm-
fine.
I'm gonna try.
Wait,
Oh
Rainier,
my god.
why did you use an inspiration? You passed the first
Did
time.
I?
You
Yeah,
did
it's
pass
10
the first
versus
time. Yeah,
me.
you can take
Oh,
back
that's right. It
your-
was a
your-
10. That's right. I
Yeah,
forgot.
it's a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna give it to me or Amber because we.
That's
both-
what I thought, and I was like,
Alright.
oh, they rolled.
You can take mine, Cody, if that's what you were hunting for.
Oh, then sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Either
for
way, I
that
used
roll.
an inspiration.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Use N1 for it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's 4 total, including Cal. So you guys have succeeded.
Thanks for having
Um,
mercy on us at DC 10.
Mhm.
Hey, look, I've seen your stealth checks.
It's fucking awful.
They're not. I wouldn't write home about
I
it.
used to be one of the best, and now I'm in a clinky clanky metal suit.
Yeah.
This is my primary stat, and I'm skilled, and I can't roll for shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Stealthing this way takes time, right? You're blending in, but you duck in between alleys and whatnot, but you are moving slowly to avoid as much suspicion as possible. So time moves on here. It is the sun in this city is beginning to set. It is becoming dusk here as you are approaching the edge of like you're basically at the foot of the building, but like on the building's opposite of it. There is very clearly armed personnel in front of this building. There is that same kind of guard force here. They're not. It's not like a dozen SWAT trucks set up like that, but there are people that are just standing there, guarding the open plaza leading to the building itself. You see about 4 of them in total.
Melly, are we going to the top of it or what?
She's in the painting.
He's in the painting.
She pointed to the top of it.
Now she can step out of the painting. She is also aware of like what's happening outside, right? But Cal made the conditions. You know, he made it pretty clear she's supposed to be in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, short of climbing the side of it, anybody have any ideas?
Yeah. Oh, also, from this vantage point, this building is way fucking taller than you thought it was gonna be. It is your best guess, maybe almost 2,000 feet tall. And there's got to be hundreds of floors. To walk such a thing would take hours.
Do we just try to walk in, or maybe there's some magic stairs in there? Had to be a shit ton of them. I'd have to like probably cross back and forth.
We've walked quite a bit since knowing each other. I think at worst we can handle the stairs.
What's our plan for the like guards there?
Cal, you got a pretty face on.
Well, I always have a pretty face on. I'm not sure what that means.
I know. Tell me you do business here.
Mm.
What business do we think you do at a big?
Well,
I mean, they use money, right?
I don't know. I mean,
Kel, your disguised self is worn off during the travel time.
Right. I mean, I've got this. I present the things that I've stolen.
That's coins. You got
I
coins
mean-
in there.
Okay. What that means is that in this world, there's probably people what got more coins than other people because they have a functioning like money changing system. So if you act like a rich person, we might just be able to get past because you're rich.
What do you mean act like?
Exactly. If they have money, that means some people got more than others. Well, maybe not. I guess they all. Did any of them have more money than others? Like a lot more.
How the fuck would we know that?
I mean, Cal's
Um,
holding a pile full of.
I don't know
it's
what any of
best
this
if we just
is.
try to get in.
Where did you get it?
We just try to get in first, and if they give us shit for it, then we
Well,
try to
let's-
figure out a way out or up. We
in-
got the hover belt.
In my experience, usually in a con, simple is better than complicated. How close are they to the entrance?
I mean, you're like a few hundred feet away, right?
No,
as
I
far
mean
as
the
how close
guards.
Yeah, I mean, there's clearly some at the entrance, right?
Mhm.
So there's like two at the actual entryway, or like the many doors there, and there's two that seem to be just like making a patrol around the area.
Okay. What if, via magical means, we started a commotion about 100 feet down in that direction? Try and get them to move away from the door so that we can slip in.
That'll work.
Can start a fire.
Yeah, I mean, like these buildings are big fuck off. So if you light one of them on fire, like.
Well, I'm not going to light a building on fire, but
Why do we need to con our way in? Why can't we just walk in? People seem to be going in and out of these buildings.
I think we can.
do you see anyone that
mean-
looks like us going in and out of these buildings?
They went in and out of the other buildings. What's the difference?
Yeah, there's a place where everybody look like us.
Yeah, but that was
No.
there, and this is here.
Any
You
reason
never
to
know.
think it's different?
That's true. If they ask, I'll tell them I'm here to fix the magic stairs. Is that? I mean, they gotta have them, right? They're not hoofing it up there. Look at it.
You hear Baracus, who's been quiet since the events at the convention center. He speaks up and says, "Look, devising a plan to get in is obviously what we need to do, but we should also speak to Umeli as well. I mean, if she's our ticket out, then she needs to have some kind of input.
All right, let's.
Also, I don't know if you're aware, but I had mentioned earlier that even if all this is successful, I don't have the magic to get us back to Bastion now. I had to use it during our fight. So no matter what, we need to rest."
Hmm.
Fine. We asked Kameli how long we got before the energy from our first hop on over here is gone. That's about right.
First things first, let's find a enclave or private area or something so that a person isn't walking out of a painting in the middle of a square. Don't want to call more attention to ourselves.
Yeah, there's a little like alleyway you guys are in at the moment.
Okay, excellent. Umeli, I know you can hear me. Care to join us?
You see through some crazy means, she just steps out of this painting. Kind of shakes and stretches her arms a little bit. Oh, that's very weird being in there. Oh. Gods, that is way taller than I thought it was going to be.
I point the Mountaineer's crossbow at her.
Do you just need to be in the building, or do you need to be in a specific location within the building?
Roof.
Need to be at the top of the building. Wonderful.
Does she have her bag with her, by the way?
She has everything with her.
I point to the bag.
She looks at you.
Give it.
Come now. There must be some level of trust here. If
Nope.
there was anything in there worth using, I would have used it, yes?
Not if you can't do it safely.
You won't find
Well-
anything but coin and ration.
Let me see then.
She undoes the tethers on her satchel and then hands it over to you.
Before I open it, I'm going to use my wand of secrets to see if there's a trap anywhere in this bag or where on Umeli, I guess.
Okay. There's no traps anywhere nearby.
Okay. Yeah, I'll turn the bag inside out and dump it on the ground.
Okay. 6,000 coins spill out onto the ground.
Yep.
Yeah.
Making
stare
a
at her, I'm
very
like, "For you."
loud, large sound and pile. Luckily, you're in a very large, loud city, so nobody seems to notice. It is a massive amount of platinum coin.
But you was just rich.
There are about 2 weeks worth of rations in there. Several water skins. In addition to, you see one cipher rolling around the mix of everything as well.
You put my troubles.
Yeah, I'll say, Firm, you want to help me start picking that up?
I'll count like 5s or 10s, and every 10 I get to,
Yeah.
I'll set one to the side
You don't
for
need
me.
You don't need to count it. You just gather it
I
up
don't
and
think-
take a handful later.
Just grab. I'll pick up the cipher. Can I check that out?
Yeah, give me an ancient arcana check.
All right.
He's like, I don't gotta worry about no type of resources.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Yeah, actually in the time it will take for them to gather that many coins, it just takes you that entire time to figure out what this thing is.
Okay.
So like you guys spend a good like 20 fucking minutes picking up and gathering coins in this alleyway. And Amelie is just leaning against a wall. While this is happening, and you're looking at that, she begins speaking in Infernal to Baracus, and they begin having a conversation. She had the cipher there. It is a detonation of gravity. It's like a grenade kind of bomb. You toss it up to 60 feet away, and then it will detonate into a 20-foot radius sphere. Everybody makes a deck save, and they are slammed to the ground and take damage on the failed save, half on success. Whether you succeed on the save or not, you are still slammed to the ground. So the save is for damage only, but if you are in its field of effect, the gravity overwhelms anyone that's affected by it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pocket that lion bitch.
Also, I'm definitely taking all of her rations and water and
Yeah.
handing her back an empty bag.
After finding out what the cipher is, I'm just like, what if we got to the top of this building and she was just gonna throw that, and the next thing you know, we was just gonna get launched off the building.
Precisely.
Yep.
She stops her conversation with Baracus and says, "Well, I couldn't do that because I need all of you to get out of here as well."
Hmm.
What exactly is your plan? Or your general idea? What?
This world, wherever it is that we actually are, our magic works here. Which means this place is touched by the weave, which means it's adjacent to the astral sea. It's a plane of existence. One, that means that all those people you injured are very real. And two, though they may not have magic here, I believe they may be aware of it on an instinctual level. Do you not feel it?
If I look up, are those weird, like the things that grabbed Cal and blinked out of existence? Are they still above us? Like they were in the sky when we arrived, right?
They're in the sky when you arrived. If you look up, make a perception check. Um, Looking around, you kind of
Damn.
like take a few steps out of the alley just to get a clearer line of sight. You see one of them just flying around in the sky. Every now and then, you see it like pop in and out in different places, like just floating around. A bird gets nearby, fucking snatches it.
Bird snatches it.
No, it
Oh,
snatches the bird.
that was like that bird's a G.
Um, that bird's a G. Umeli continues and says, they built this incredible city. They must still maybe feel the weave on an instinctual level, a primal level that they don't understand yet, though maybe recent events might change that.
Ooh.
Here, and she points to the building and the area around it. This is likely the intersection of two of this world's ley lines. It means there's a potential for energy here, which we will need. Because although I am not skilled with transdimensional travel, there's some runic magic that could be of use in a location like this. It's not for certain. It carries risk. But it's the best way out of here I have.
Fine. Let's get to the top of the building then.
It also requires a fair amount of arcane energy, of which I don't have enough on my own. I would need anyone who's capable to also contribute.
Go for it, Cal.
Okay, so do you want to just, I don't know, sleep in this alley? Can you put a dome over us in here?
One more time.
Arm? Can you put a dome over us? That thing you do?
Yeah, it take it takes some time.
I mean, if everybody's wanting to just hunker down, then I don't.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that as long as we're staying. And Yeah, I'll just spend the next 11 minutes casting Tiny Hut.
Okay. Do you exclude anybody from your tiny hut?
Hopefully not in this environment. I invite everybody, despite the evil hag on the wall. But, it's everybody's choice.
Yeah, I mean, Numeli's in. She's smart. She understands. She knows what the spell is. She knows that you will need protection here. She also advises you to match the color to the color of like the stonework nearby, right? To try to get it to blend in a little better.
Got it. I'm not like that, what's naive. I'm not gonna take her advice, so she knows magic.
Cool. The tiny hut is created. As you all are, you know, having a moment to breathe and a moment that feels safe in this place, as safe as this place is. The sun sets more, you hear more sirens. The sirens never stop, always running. Occasionally, you see those carriages with those lights rushing by the alleyway on the road that's nearby. Although the sun goes down, you're hard pressed to notice it as there's so much brightness coming from this city, and you see the large building ahead of you, your goal, your destination. The inside of it just begins to illuminate. It's almost like daytime here. A city that never truly sleeps. You hear Melly speak up and say, it occurs to me that I don't actually know who any of you are, except you, Kalawunax.
Herm is intrigued. He's like, I didn't know anybody knew anybody either.
How are your parents?
Oh, well, they don't remember you at all.
Ooh.
Of course not. Why would they? What, I don't deserve to know the names of my executioners? You came for me not once, twice. How did you find me, by the way?
Which time?
Ooh.
First time seemed like more random happenstance. But this time, in the spires,
Well, it's a funny story, really. We had decided to retire from adventuring after the close call we had with you the first time, but had become quite good friends. So we rented a small ski cabin in the area and were looking for fresh powder.
funny.
I'm a delight.
Um, she kind of just looks off through the hut at the building again and looks back to you all. I can understand revenge, I suppose. Is that really all this is? I mean, do you even understand what it is that I'm trying to accomplish?
I'm not even positive you do, given
Mhm.
that you didn't really think we'd end up here. So,
Well, the first
like,
lesson I was ever taught was there's no progress without risk. I didn't know the outcome, but I'm willing to take the risk.
Well, and you see, I think that right there is the problem, and where we are at loggerheads. Um, not only are you willing to take that risk for yourself, but you're willing to take that risk for an entire city of unsuspecting people. Um, we find that unacceptable, and we find that stopping you means that you won't be doing that for the next city down the line.
And I think that might be a fundamental key that you might be missing. You think that this is revenge.
What, you're getting justice for Karakara?
Certainly not.
not
We are keeping
just.
someone who has killed thousands from ever doing it again.
I'll be the first to admit what happened in Karakara was a grave tragedy and an awful mistake.
But you're not sorry about it because you'd do it again.
I would.
When a dog gets the foam, you put it down.
Oh my god.
I
Well,
fan
what's
firmament.
if you had any idea what it is that's coming, you would do the same. If you had the resolve, the strength of will. As far as I can see, only one of you has. And she eyes Merv.
Then why don't you fucking just tell us? If it's so important, if it's gonna sway our hearts, just say it.
That's so
It's
true.
speaking clearly might be the only thing you can do competently, as far as I can tell. The fact that I have to rely on you to try to do a big magical operation correctly is filling me with a lot of terror because the last two times I saw you do it, you fucked it up worse than anything I've ever seen.
Well,
So
fine.
you go ahead and just tell us why you're so qualified and why all of this is so important that you had to do this twice.
Actually, if I recall, with the monolith, things were going smoothly until your arrival. Perhaps you're to blame. Have you considered that?
I know she ain't saying
Oh,
that.
shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Shut
I
the
just.
fuck up, and if you say one more goddamn thing, I will put you in the dirt.
Oh,
When the black moon howls, we'll all be in the dirt.
Is that supposed to mean anything to us?
honestly.
She remains silent.
You don't want to tell us what the black moon is.
Oh, am I allowed to speak now? Or should I shut the fuck up again?
Oh,
You
you
are
gonna take that, Rainier?
firm, not helping.
The case is that we are also I'm talking to Merv. We have seen things. We have been spoken to by things outside of this plane. I don't want to hear her talk at all anymore because she is going to continue to justify her vile behavior and actions. And I'm sick of it.
Would you like to step outside the bubble with me, Umali? Perhaps we can have a conversation?
She raises an eyebrow but doesn't respond. I mean, she understands. Oh, sorry. But doesn't immediately like respond to you. You
Sure.
can tell by her like her what like her what she's emoting, right? Is she is intrigued.
Right. I'm not trying to do anything nefarious. It's just I would like to continue a conversation, but I also want to respect Rainier's wishes not to fucking hear another word out of your fucking mouth. And so it seems that if we were to step outside and anyone that wanted to engage in this conversation stepped outside, then both things could continue to be true. Those that wish to continue a conversation with you could have one, and those that wish not to hear you speak could stay in the bubble and not hear you speak.
You see, she nods to you.
Anybody else interested in joining us?
Yeah,
Not
why not?
interested in letting you be alone with her.
Well, I would appreciate some company, quite frankly, but I don't want to twist any arms.
I'll be gone.
If Firm is vocalizing his interest, Rainier is going to get up and leave the bubble. Just so that the bubble doesn't disappear.
Yeah, Firm, you're the only one who can't go.
Oh, all right. Well, Renia, appreciate it. That makes things easy. Let's,
Merv gets up and leaves the bubble as well.
Yep.
very well. Let's start simply. I hope you understand that whatever life or whatever endeavors you thought you were going to accomplish, that's over. Those aren't going to happen. Your life is going to be radically different going forward than you thought it was going to be even yesterday. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner we can all get on the same page. Now, you see, we are truly in the business of trying to prevent more mass deaths, which as best as we can see it, despite your deflections, rests squarely on your shoulders. Now, if you think there's a bigger threat out there, now's the time to tell us about it. Not with riddles, not with questions, but simply share the information that you have, because if it is true that you are in the same business as we are, then perhaps we can forward your goals. If, on the other hand, as I and my friends suspect, right, that the real goal here is for you to amass power, it's about ego, well, then you'll continue with riddles or deflecting blame or asking vague questions to try and lead us in a direction. And that will just confirm to us that the last valuable thing you will do with your life is to return us to our plane of origin. Do you get my point?
If I bring us back to our world, our reality,
Hmm.
what do you suppose you and your band will do then? To me, will
Well,
you bring
sorry?
me to justice? Will you slaughter me on the spot?
Well, I truly believe it depends on what your ultimate motive is here. If, as you have stated, that you are working to prevent the world from encountering a greater evil, an evil so massive and so threatening that it justifies the death of all of those individuals in Karakara, then, and you share that information with us, right, so that we and the Arcanium and whatever other resources we can bring to bear to fight this fight can take on whatever happens when the Black Moon howls, well, then perhaps there is more life for you. Certainly, it would be under serious imprisonment, perhaps at the Arcanium. Perhaps Bastion has other prisons that can hold you. But once again, if that's not what this is about, if this is about only Umeli can stop this threat, and the only way Umeli can stop the threat is through amassing greater and greater power, well, I'm afraid that's just ego, my dear. And if that's the case, well, then you can choose whether you die here or back at home.
Make a persuasion check for me.
All right.
Should have advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, pretty good.
Holy shit.
There are an astounding number of nat 20s coming out tonight, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's
Take it, just take it. Be happy.
it's hard to explain.
Look, some of us don't know how to handle this much good luck, okay?
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it.
It's hard to explain. It started when I found the monolith. And when I brought the soul stone to it. At first, there were random dreams, and then the dreams became more intense, and then became waking visions. But they're disjointed, it's scattered. There's a moon, a huge sphere in the sky. It blocks the sun and it bleeds down onto our world. And as it bleeds, there's just madness. Death sweeps the land. The living fight for survival, and in doing so, destroy each other. All that's left is a husk. But there's a way to stop it, maybe. There's an army. They were made for this. They don't breathe, they don't sleep, they don't eat. They're undead themselves, really. That's our salvation. I needed the monolith to understand more. I thought if I controlled this army, then I could control Adari. I could control everyone and unite them against this. And yes, there would be casualties along the way. But I was willing to take that burden. And sure, in the end, do I also gain power? Yes. I don't want to be lost to history. I don't want to be forgotten. Like your parents and all the others like them forgot me.
And so you needed the monolith under Karakara to gain greater understanding of this looming threat. Is that correct?
I thought it might offer some, but it's. The monolith is vast. And without the knowledge of the Vol who made it, it will take a lifetime to understand it.
And what did you need the portal for? The portal that we were just sucked through?
It would take me where I think the army is.
Hmm.
The one place where no one can ever get to.
Are you speaking of the Dread Lookout?
One and the same. I've tried. Others have tried. You can't apparate your way in. There's no door. There's no windows. There's no cracks or crevices. I feel it. I feel it. There has to be a way in. I just need to find it.
Look at Firm and Baracus and Ragnarok. Do any of you have any questions you'd like to ask?
I'm not even out there.
No, we're in the bubble.
Yeah, you all are in the bubble. Merv, Rainier, and I left the bubble.
I had it backwards. Mm,
How many lives would you have sacrificed in order to attain this goal?
How many lives would you sacrifice to save an entire world?
I think that means there was no limit, is there?
What's a few thousand compared to millions?
But this is based off of dreams.
Nightmares, really.
What hard evidence do you have?
None. But I feel it when I'm Not here, we're too far away, but when we're back home, don't you hear it singing? The monolith? Do you not hear its song?
Why'd you choose to take on this endeavor yourself? Why didn't you get help? Why didn't you explain to other people? There are resources.
They wouldn't understand. In the Arcanium, they made it clear that I'm not welcome among them.
Do you even mourn for them?
In quiet moments. Now, I've told you. What assurances can you give me that when we come back to our world that you won't kill me?
Umele, I can't give you any assurances that you won't be killed when we return because I do not speak for the group. I am but one member of the fifth season.
Fifth season. Now that's a name.
It's a bit of marketing. You know, something you know very well, Umele of the Nine Hands.
It
But I
helps to
can't.
have something that it helps when you have something that breaks you out of the crowd.
You don't have to tell me. But what I will tell you is this. I think there's value in keeping you alive. I think there is value in bringing you to face true justice in Bastion or perhaps even in Karakara. Whether or not that comes to pass, I cannot say. But if you continue to be forthright with us, then I will continue to advocate for that.
Is there a way to prove what you're saying is true?
She kind of shakes her hands a bit in a like a uh like kind of like a I'm not sure, and says, I'm at a loss on how to prove a vision. People trust diviners.
Well, I believe there are some magics that can be brought to bear that might increase the likelihood that you are believed. Furthermore, I think that as a show of good faith, whatever item or enchantment you are using to prevent people from scrying on you, you should give that up immediately. Go a long way to convincing people that you're not up to anything devious.
You see, one of her gauntleted hands comes off of her torso and grabs a little amulet and pulls it off of her neck, brings it over to Baracus and drops it into his lap, and says, as the hand comes back to her, "You've taken everything else. How did you find me while wearing that?"
Oddly enough, I had a vision.
Hmm. I would hope that for all our sakes you believe some of what I say. I have knowledge of these artifacts. I have insights into what may be coming. I can be useful. But I won't be useful if I'm dead.
Umele, I have absolutely no doubt that you can be immensely useful. The knowledge and experience that you have, it's unmatched, even by members of the Arcanium, and I'll gesture towards Baracus. But you see, you've caused a much bigger problem here. Because of your actions, no one can trust you. And I'm trying real hard, Umele. But going forward, if you want to have any hope of extending your life, you need to be absolutely forthright. And everything on your mind should be about establishing trust above and beyond even dealing with this larger existential threat to the world. Do you understand?
She nods.
Very well. I think it's time you get some sleep, and I will gesture back at the painting.
She stands up and enters into the painting.
Just a reminder to everyone, she can hear us and see us while she's in there. It's not like, I don't know, like some sort of negative zone or something.
Where we get the others? And Ragnarok will stand up, walk out, and find the others.
Yeah, I don't think we've left the alley per se. We're just close
Nope.
by. I think.
Leaning up against
Yeah.
the wall, smoking cigarettes.
I was just gonna
Yeah,
say, like,
absolutely.
I was gonna
Smoking if
say-
I've got tobacco, yes, please.
Merv is smoking a pipe for the first time.
Well,
Useful.
maybe. Depends on if she can be trusted. Or if she herself is not being lied to.
So no.
It's a matter of perspective.
Yeah, Cal will
Just
give
for
them the
no-
summary.
Yeah. Also, just for a note, when she's in the painting, you don't have the mark on her. Like you can't, you don't know her direction.
She's on another plane.
She's on another plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
This little pocket thing. Yeah.
That's even better. You'll know the second she pops out of that painting, regardless of where. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Ooh, yes, Adam. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fucking cool as shit.
The second we enter back into the bubble, Merv is like, "I want your hands." Looking at the painting. You want us to trust her? She gets to keep the part that's making a move. Can't take that away. But she's got tech there. She doesn't need it anymore.
Melly, do you want
You
to
see,
come out and address that?
she makes no move to come out of the painting. You see Baracus place a necklace around his the amulet around his neck and says, "For what it's worth, I believe her. As far as one can."
Oh, we've got a little bit of time to figure that out. A quick practical question. Do you think there's any value in spending a little time now to try and acquire some just practical disguises, some of the common clothing that we've seen people walking around in? I've seen these hats and these things that look like short cloaks with hoods.
Oh, definitely. Uh, Most of us stand out in a very egregious way. And it seemed like pictures, portraits of us were being sent around somehow. I wager by tomorrow everyone will know what we look like.
Yeah, I don't know how much that's gonna help some of us. Me with good luck, and everyone else less so.
If I rest, I can make myself look different tomorrow.
No harm in trying,
but
but I mean, Ember, can you bonnet your hair?
I can, but I also got, and she'll point at her eyes that are practically solid blue.
Yeah. I don't
Also,
think you're
nobody
wrong,
seems
Cal.
to look that the skin is all
Yeah,
different.
I don't think you're wrong, Cal. I just don't know that we can do much.
Well, I'm going to go see what I can do.
I would offer to go with you, but I think I'd only make things worse.
Okay. Anyone else? Got one more casting of invisibility.
You see Baracus stand up and say, "I'll go with you."
Very well.
I'll star my rest so we can stagger it a bit.
I'll wait till they get back and then rest.
Okay. Cal, you and Baracus head out. They're stepping onto the streets. You see a lot less people, and you see those same cars, those same metal carriages with the lights on. You see them. Boy, you see, like, if you're looking down a thoroughfare a long way, you see a lot of them moving, but no sirens, no lights on. You just see them slowly moving around the streets.
Okay.
You find that with you and Baracus, you find between the two of you, you find a building that sells clothing.
Okay.
Um, you're able to finagle your way in both with persuasion, but also you see Baracus seemingly without like he doesn't appear to be using magic, but he's speaking to someone like an obstacle in the way,
Hmm.
and they immediately begin to just acquiesce to what it is that he's asking.
Hmm.
They become fully charmed by him. And you're able to gather and convince this person that you do not need to pay
Hmm.
um, clothing for everyone in the party should you wish.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm basically looking for hats, hoodies, sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if
Big coats,
yeah,
anything to hide.
right,
Yeah,
I mean,
all of
if
it.
I've
Yeah.
seen people wearing stuff like big coat, yeah, like just whatever people are wearing that people can hide in.
Yeah, you got it.
Great. And once that is acquired, I'll be like, dude, let's get back to that hut and like just I see all these car or do they have the lights going or the sirens
No,
going or they're
no.
just okay, so they just look like all the other cars, but do I clock that they're like painted the same?
You clock that these like because you've seen these, right?
Mhm.
So like you recognize that these cars indicate some kind of threat, likely.
Okay, yeah.
And so
Baracus,
you see
let's
them.
get let's get
Yeah,
out
you
of
see
here.
them moving slowly, which means that it is now a methodical search they are performing.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Cool. As you exit the place, you see like a little TV in the background, and you're all on it. Headline news. Um, you head back into the tiny hut. Variety of clothing and disguises in hand.
Excellent. Yes, it seems like virtually everyone out there is looking for us. So not very good. On the plus side, I've got all of these. Does anyone have any bright ideas on how we get into that building?
No.
Still not sure why we can't try the front door.
I mean, I think that's probably the best thing we can try first. In the event that that doesn't work, do we have any other way through?
Well,
Because if it doesn't work, it's because we're going to be in trouble. If we're in trouble, then we need to have Plan B ready to go.
It's not a good idea, but we can get at least 3 people to scale it. Those of us that don't exactly look like everyone else out there.
It's true.
But it's definitely a plan B or later. I think watching someone climb up something that should not be able to be climbed is attention grabbing.
It's also a hell of a climb.
Mm.
Well, now that I think about it, we can certainly try the front door, Amber, as you suggest, and if that works, wonderful. If not, I do have some magic that can, with proper placement, can move. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of you, about 180 feet. So certainly from outside the doors to inside the doors.
It's quite good.
I won't have much power left after that. But in a worst case scenario, that's a possibility.
Do we feel confident with that? We'll look at everybody else.
Probably about as good as it's gonna get, to be honest.
Feels like our best option.
I think I agree. Unless there is something new and unusual with you, Farm.
No, no. Still got the same things. I don't really have anything for this.
Alright. I guess that'll have to do. Try front door, and then get our teleporting master Cal to get us through if all else fails.
Hmm.
I'll take first watch. It's bright as hell outside.
Are we doubling up on watches or one at a time?
I think we'll be fine to do one at a time.
All right. You set yourselves up for a long rest with staged lookouts. um, as you all begin your long rest, Merv, as you go to settle in, you hear a voice that you don't recognize at first, but becomes it's familiar. You're not sure who it is at first, but then you end up recognizing it. This voice comes to you in your head saying, "You know what you need to do now, while the others are resting. She's weak." You recognize the voice of Calvoxus the Rotten, sublord of filth. It would be easy now. Every moment you wait, she grows stronger and you will lose your opportunity. Kill her.
Can I respond back in my head?
Yeah.
I respond back. There's like probably a long pause, and then I didn't give you blood.
No. You gave me something more. A part of yourself. Kill her, and I will restore you. Kill her now, and I will make you whole again.
Why do you want her dead?
She deserves it.
That's not why you want her dead, though. You ain't gonna convince me by telling me what you think I need to hear.
Then remain unwhole. The voice quiets. You hear it no longer. Everyone has a long rest.
Fine.
I'm going to, for my brews today, pick up 2 Big Britches brew is good, but double time tea might be better here.
Here.
I hand one to Ember and just say, Fern, it's like bright fluorescent yellow and and like you could see like chunks of what is clearly like dirt in it. For like around an hour, you'll be faster.
That's the one you're handing to Ember?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Hopefully I won't need it, but thank you for giving it to me.
Hands the other one to Cal. I'll actually put them in my inventory and then transfer them to yours. To Ember. Mert's double time tea.
Which one do I want here?
Oh, is that what this is? More of the double time tea?
Yeah, it's double time tea. For when the running is running.
Understood. Thank you. Quick question for you, Sean. The
Mhm.
leadership bud, does that last 24 hours or until the next day?
What does it say?
Yeah,
Says
I
a
think it's
day.
just the next day. Right. So
Yeah,
I
it
think that has
stipulates
fallen off.
it stipulates a day, which I could go either way. Could either be the next day or a day after.
Also, before we go to sleep, I will ritually cast Detect Poison and Disease on everyone, just to be sure. We're in a new world. We've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
breathing some funky shit.
Valid.
Valid.
None of us are
No.
masked.
Yeah, no. Oh God, you're taking COVID back to your world.
Oh boy.
No poisons, no disease. I mean, you notice like,
I will include Baracus just to be safe.
sure, yeah, he's fine as well. No poison or disease, but you notice like the air is like, I mean, the air is not clean like home, right? Like there's these metal vehicles they're moving around in like stink and smell, you know. As for the leadership bud, um, I will say that it has fallen off because it's not specifying 24 hours.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that
In that
is no
case,
longer.
I am going to take off the cloak of the bear folk and put on my cloak of finery.
Okay, hell yeah.
For the following day, I'm going to prepare disguise self instead of absorb elements.
Sure, yeah. Whatever your
Dun, dun,
preparations
dun,
are. Once
dun,
once you guys are
dun.
ready, just tell me what you do.
I assume the hit point drain from the creatures we just fought has gone away, but still not the hit points from the question cube.
Correct. Yeah. The font of knowledge remains in effect. But if you were drained by a undead creature recently or anything, then yeah, that'll go away. Okay, looks like Max and Doug are back. So, what is the move? Umeli is still in the painting.
Oh my god.
Oh.
How you just come back and you just get that? Like that's just how it works.
I don't know, but that's me casting Longstrider.
Casting Longstrider. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you allowing Umeli to walk free, or are you putting her in the painting?
I think she needs to stay in the painting.
She
It
would love that
sounds.
because she's very old, and that's a lot of steps.
I think, like, as it stands, we have the possibility of presenting, like, we don't need to start with lying, but we can go to the front and say we have this art installation we're supposed to be getting in, or like having the painting actually is kind of helpful to us. It maybe is a disguise
I think
if we can't just walk through.
it's only a convincing sell if it was you or Merv saying it.
Uh, I think, yeah, Murph's just gonna say like, okay, when we get ready to go, I'm gonna disguise myself as one of those guard types. It's handy they're all wearing like the same uniform.
Are you gonna still wear your hat?
Yeah.
There you-
I'm wearing my hat. It's just gonna look like a cop hat.
Ah, okay.
And I'm gonna make myself a foot taller.
That'll help.
Yeah, really, it's the best I got.
That
I'm
puts you
gonna
like
still
4
look
foot.
yeah, I'm gonna look like a little feller, but I'm
Um,
copying the uniform as much as I can, including like any of the shit that they had like on the outside of their like clothes. Like
sure, you've had some looks. Yeah.
they had a bunch, like they all have those a bunch of weird harnesses with a bunch of weird shit in it. So it's just gonna be like one of those.
Yeah, yeah, you had harnesses and all that kind of stuff. I does it change? Hold on. I'm just I was like, I don't think you can make it look like the gun and everything, but I'm not. I actually haven't read that spell in a long time.
I mean, it's all just illusion, so as long
Yeah.
as it's like still part of the clothes, like it's not like he can interact with it, but he could like have a holstered weapon in the illusion.
I don't think I'd think it was a weapon I could do anything with as much as it is just a part of their outfit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's some
it's just a
weird
body.
block. Yeah, there's some weird block
Yeah,
thing.
There's
there.
a
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
block. They got a shiny thing on them. Some of them do on like the right. They got a thing on their shoulder that is just. I saw one of them scream into one of them, so that might be useful.
You okay. Who is who is magically disguised?
Cal is.
I will take off my armor. Oh god, that hurts to say.
Oh
And change my
no!
clothes.
I'll hold out my bag.
Yeah.
I'm
The
changing
option of the
clothes, but I
disguise is
have
also like
leathers.
putting a coat over you, right? So that is
Okay.
your choice should you wish to remove your armor.
A clinky clanky coat.
Right. Like there
Yeah,
are
I
like
just-
you that is your choice entirely should you choose to do it, but the point of getting the disguises and allowing for it is so that you could ostensibly cover that at a eye's glance, right?
That is what I am doing. Is I am dressing over whatever I can keep on.
Okay, so Cal is magically disguised. Merv is magically disguised. Baracus doesn't know how to do that. He asks if he should wear the hat and clothing, or just be invisible.
Both.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I got a coat on under here, right? Because like this is gonna end. You should do both things in case one thing fails.
Right. He does both things.
Do we want to go in all as a group or go in kind of
Yeah,
like?
Yeah.
as a group.
Okay. So Cal is magically disguised. Merv is magically disguised. Baracus is invisible, and everyone else has on like some clothing over top of some stuff to just hide yourself a little bit.
I got
Yeah.
on some hoodies. I got some hoodies. I got on a hoodie. I got some overalls. I got some sunglasses. I am a mismatched hodgepodge of horrible style.
Unironically, I think the COVID masks might go a long way for the genasi we have in party. I think
Yeah.
that will be helpful.
Can I have like a big hobo coat on underneath? Like, I just
Wait,
your
under your
disguise
illusion,
self?
right?
yeah, under the illusion, just
sure.
just one of those cargo coats that has a shit ton of pockets.
Sure.
Did they get COVID masks? Because that would work really well for me too. I have a weird nose.
That's true. I was thinking of your teeth, but I was just thinking you could have your mouth closed.
Yeah.
COVID
Oh,
masks are all
Wow.
around.
Yeah, you guys are disguised. You guys are disguised up.
God, we were just thinking you could shut the fuck up, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
All right.
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth for once.
I'll tuck my ears into my
Dang.
Go
Okay.
full Marvel
No,
movie
I
disguise
was
of
gonna
cap and
say
sunglasses and hoodie.
no. We need a fucking Humphrey Bogart trench coat and fedora like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style.
See, that's a better answer.
Okay, you guys are disguised up. Heading in through the front. What do you heading in through the front? Nobody like there are like there's a stronger presence here. But nobody initially like you guys don't look out of place anymore. So you are able to enter into this building. You see that inside there are additional guards that are dressed a little differently, but they kind of stand on the edges of the walls. There are, there's a large front desk, a reception area.
Are we able to just walk past? Like,
No, there are barriers, like there's entryway barriers between you. Like you wouldn't be able to walk past this thing. Well, you can attempt actually. I will tell you that there are clear barriers to entry here. They have like they're waist high, have like little clear flaps of glass in between them. And there is like a larger rectangular kind of door frame. It looks like on either side of this reception desk.
Just so I'm picturing it correctly, you're talking about a metal detector, right?
You as players would know this to be these are badge barriers and metal detectors.
Gotcha. Okay. It's helping for visualization, even
Yeah,
if we
yeah.
don't know nothing as people.
Yeah, your characters just see like I can't just walk directly past.
Okay.
Yeah, and you see people. I mean, you see people like they seem to be waving their hand over the one barrier, and then they set their stuff. They seem to be setting things in a little bin, and then walking through this door frame, and then gathering their things again and moving on.
Say, what would prestidigitation do to one of these devices?
I mean, nothing.
Prestidigitation can light small fires.
Well, okay.
I don't have this ability. I'm
Wait,
just
you
saying.
mean it can ignite a small fire?
I'm
Instantly
just
light
saying.
or snuff out a candle.
There's a chance there's cantrips here that could fuck with something.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, you
what
guys are
is-
welcome to use your full array of
Like
abilities.
acid splash.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody's stopping you from doing any of that.
What
But
is
you
the
see,
situ-
like, as sorry, go on.
what is the situation behind the reception desk?
You see, two males, two females. There's, people walk in. Some of them are asking, just like questions and whatnot. They seem to be looking. The people behind the desk seem to be looking down and doing something out of your line of sight as of the moment. And then sometimes somebody's handed a piece of paper. Otherwise, you see them gesture to sit at some seats in this like lobby area. Some are gestured to move through the security checkpoint.
Oh, this is visualization. If I was to use a cantrip, I understand it's voice.
Mhm.
What's the V is voice? Yes, I
V
was
is
thinking
voice. Yeah.
visual in my head. Voice and semantics. However, it's a customization based on character, if I remember correctly. If I was to cast Shocking Grasp, like while messing with a little badge scanner and just like trying to figure out what it does because we don't know, would it like shoot a like a lightning bolt sort of it out of my hand, or could it look like it was like a static shock real quick, like it malfunctioned?
I mean, I can't tell you the outcome of that, right? Like that, you would have to do that and find out what happens, right?
Okay.
Generally speaking, casting spells is noticeable and evident.
Yeah, they will notice that you are doing something, but as magic is yet to be discovered in this world, they won't understand what you were doing,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, that's what I was looking for. Perm wants to go mess with the badge scanner.
Great.
Okay.
Oh,
You have stepped into this lobby. You have all kind of looked around for a few moments, and Firm immediately begins walking towards the badge scanner.
start
This kind of
moseying up to the
barrier
counter.
vestibule you've seen people wave their hand in front of, and these little doors open up.
He's gonna like, sort of copy people not understanding you actually need a badge. Copy people like trying to wave the hand and then sort of touching it really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And
It obviously doesn't do anything because you don't
yep.
have it. You know what it is.
And then he starts to get frustrated a little bit, and then he uses Shocking Grasp on it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
um, you see some people standing nearby look up. Because it's speaking words of power and doing movements with your hands, right? It's all noticeable. But you see, like, there's some sparks that begin emanating out of this thing, and I mean, those door frames, like, they open, close, open, close, open.
Nice.
Yes. I'm gonna jump back and just be like, oh my god, uh, and then sort of like
Not,
panic.
not. Oh my God! Walk through it. Walk through it.
You see as you take a few steps back, the person that was kind of near this door frame walks over and says, are you all right, sir? There seems to be some kind of malfunction here. Are you okay?"
Uh, I think I am. I'm like start shaking my hand as if it really hurts. And he's like, I don't, I don't really know what happened. I don't know what's going on, to be
Do you
honest.
need medical attention, sir?
No, no, no. I think I should be okay. I can handle anything, or I can find somebody to help me if later problems occur. But I don't know what happened with this area here.
Oh, my apologies, sir. I'll have one of our technicians down here to take a look at this thing as soon as possible.
And he like throws up a hand. He's like, "Are we delayed, or can we?"
He looks at you and says, "You're welcome to pass through the detector if you like, sir."
Oh, okay, yeah. And then I'll just try to walk through without getting hit by like the crazy ass door that I broke.
Do you have anything metal on you?
That is a great question. Let me double check. I do.
At the very least,
Okay.
you probably have cook's utensils, which
I have a chef's knife.
Oh
I have
no.
brazen bulwark. I have a breastplate.
Oh
Okay.
God.
There's a alarm goes off, a little beep 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 beep, and the guy walks over and goes, he sets down a little bin and says, if you can place any metal things in here for you, you make sure you get your belt, shoes, that kind of thing.
Or like panics and like looks at the group. He's like, ah, uh. And, I mean, he understands remove metal, but he starts slowly doing it. He puts down the chef's knife and is like, please just don't don't mess with. Well, you can mess with it. Just
So you
don't
can't
break
bring
that one.
weapons in here. You can't bring weapons into the trade center.
Can we
Oh.
hear that is happening?
He's a little ways away, but yeah, I mean, you're in the lobby. You can hear that that's happening. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give a meaningful look to Merv and get the crossbow into the bag of holding.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could go try to find some place to put all this. I was just traveling, so I kept it all with
Look,
me.
if you just put this back in your car, I'll be willing to look past it. Okay.
Oh, okay. And then I'll just grab everything and then, make my way back. I didn't make it, you guys.
You made it all right. I'm also gonna get my leathers that have metal on them into the bag as well.
Are you wearing?
Yeah, Merv
them?
has basically like scratched his back, and in doing so, opened up the the drawstring, and then just like pointed to everybody to just sort of dump them where approximately Merv's shoulders seem to be.
Are you wearing your leathers?
I am, because they're just studded leather. They're like, they'd have to be over clothes, but they are under my like hoodie or whatever the fuck. So
Okay.
Um,
I mean, that does take time to doff armor, right?
yeah, but
It
leathers doesn't take very long. So I'll just
doesn't take very long, but it's very obvious that you were undressing here. I'm just making that clear.
Yeah, yes, definitely. But I'm not getting naked.
Yeah.
Cal would like to go over to the reception desk. And just say, yes, hello, we are the decorators. We're here to do the installation in Mr. Clef Tinthilar's office up on the top floor.
She gives you, she welcomes you. She says, "Oh, hello. Let's see. You said top floor?
Well, yeah, those are the instructions that I have. We're late, so if you could hurry it up.
Okay. What? That seems a little strange. What was the name?
Clef Tinthilar.
You see her, she's typing away on something, right? And she seems frustrated, tries a few other things, and she says, "I'm sorry, I don't have anybody by that name here."
Okay, well, you clearly do not have all the information necessary to complete this. Who's in charge here?
Oh, you need to speak to a supervisor?
Yes, absolutely.
You see she picks up a phone and says, Karen, there's a gentleman out here that'd like to speak with you. Sets the little device down, looks at you and says, they'll be here momentarily. You're welcome to have a seat if you like.
Well, very well, I will wait. And I am intentionally going to be pacing and waving my arms in an animated fashion and sort of mumbling to myself.
Mm-hmm. Uh, as you are waiting for that, you have enough time to take off the armor. You do get a few odd looks as people are like, "Why are they doing this weird? New York is weird." And the same security guard that had you would interact with, firm,
Yes.
walks over towards your group, and says, "I'm sorry. There's been I'm so sorry for the delay on what happened back there. I've been informed that your group is to be allowed passage. You would follow me?
Okay.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check."
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm specifically looking like he's like one of the guardsmen of this place. It's a guardsman thing to do to walk up and be like, yeah, no, come with me while I walk you into a jail cell filled with my friends.
Yeah, I mean, he's telling the truth. You don't sense ulterior motives here with your nat 20. Like, you don't believe he is leading you anywhere. Simply, he is asking, like, you're welcome to pass through.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will like basically like step forward and give him like a stern like authority figure to authority figure nod as I like lead the way.
All right. The panel, the barrier is still broken and open. You walk through the metal the door, open door frame, the metal
Mhm.
detector. He just is gesturing you to go through. As you walk through, any metal on you sets it off. It beeps, but
Yep.
he continues to tell you to move through.
Merv like rocks on his heels as he walks through. Part of the uniform. Part of the uniform.
You can see there's some other walls, immediately kind of behind this area. He's waving everyone through. Does anybody not follow?
No, Firm's hurrying. He doesn't want to
Definitely
get
going
sent back.
Okay. Everybody goes through. Um, after the last of you passes through, you hear a voice from nowhere, but recognized as Baraka, saying, "Wonderful job, Michael. Please take a break." And this guard opens the door off to the side that says personnel only. And you hear Baraka say, "Looked like things were getting a bit fucky there. I decided just to help."
Appreciate it.
Fucking great work.
Honestly.
How the
Uh,
fuck do we get up? Let's look for some
Um,
stairs.
you see there's a doorway with a symbol of a stick figure person moving up a jagged line that looks like maybe stairs. Um,
But
you
most of the
also
people are walking towards what's probably the elevators.
Most people
right?
are walking towards this strange door frame in the
Yeah.
wall that when it closes, you see like these lights on top of it moving a little bit. No, you don't see anybody moving towards the stairs.
When we look at the thing though, we see it, granted the runes on it don't make any sense to us, but it does look like the box is moving from one to the next, right? Like as they're going up, and it's
Yeah, you see there's also there's 4 of these boxes people are moving into. There's also you see them pressing these buttons in the wall with very clear symbols of like triangles indicating up and down.
Merv is fucking giddy.
Can we roll an insight check to see if this would be some incredible teleportation aid of some kind?
I mean, you are welcome to.
All right. Also, I feel like we've maybe seen
We
fantasy
have
elevators
seen
in
an
the
elevator
past.
before,
Yeah.
yes. We used
Yeah,
one to
yeah.
go down into the Dwarven area.
That was more of
Yeah.
like a lift than
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
elevator.
the
Yeah,
idea of
like-
platforms
It's
that
a
move
lift.
is not unknown to the world.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
all elevators are lifts, but not all lifts
Not
are
all lifts are
elevators.
elevators, yeah,
Maybe.
very-
Yeah,
very true,
yeah. Like being able to into what we would be getting into at this, I
Yeah.
think, is more appropriately the insight check.
Yeah, on a 13, I mean, everyone here seems to be doing this. It certainly seems like if you want to go somewhere, like the doors open and those same people are gone again, right?
Mhm.
So this obviously moves people, and it's easy to put together. Like there's at least an up and a down.
I think I'll nod my head towards the elevators and suggest we try that.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
We have enough people in our group that I feel like we might scare off.
Take a
Other-
hard elevator.
I was just
Exactly.
gonna say you
Merv
hit
is
the
definitely
thing.
taking up a power pose in the door, like as the last one in, just being like, just shaking his head at somebody as they try to come in.
Exactly. They're trying to like rush in. They're like, hold the door, and they're like,
Nice.
I'll get the next one. The doors close. You see, you're in a metal box. With all of you in here, feels a little cramped. um, on one side of the walls, you see an array of buttons with numbers next to them. And the numbers, at some point they go. There's an indicator that it goes beyond 100 and restarts at the top again. That you'd have to like hit a series of buttons to go beyond the 100th floor.
All right, Merv, I'm gonna need my hammer.
Yeah. And Merv like reaches into his back, like pulls out the bag and is holding it.
I think, granted, the last lift took us like an hour or so. I do retrieve my armor and weaponry.
Yeah, if you're getting to the roof of this place, you have time to put
As
armor on. Yeah.
for the, do we need to roll any check to understand how to get it to like? I don't think I could get it to go to any floor in particular other than at random, but getting it to go as high as it will go should just be clicking the furthest of one and then the furthest of the other, right?
I mean, you can roll an investigation check if you want to like determine this as your character. Yeah, you look at this thing and you like you know what fucking buttons are, you know what numbers are. Like you're piecing together, okay, this is a very tall building. Obviously buildings have floors. This thing moves you between floors. So if you want to go to the top, you need the highest number possible.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the 2 buttons then.
Okay. You enter a series of buttons that pushes you up to what would be like the 150th floor. It seems to not accept more than that. Um, once that door opens, it doesn't open into offices. The doorways open into what looks to be like like something is being built and constructed here. There are the clear telltale signs of like tools and what smells like paint around the area, sawed wood. There are unfinished sections of the walls. The walls of the building obviously are intact, but like clearly here people are making something on this floor. Though as you step into it, there is nobody here.
So are we open to the sky from here?
No, you're not on the roof. The roof is still ostensibly higher than this.
I guess stepping out and looking around for one of those signs with the person running up a magic stairs.
Yeah, you do see that kind of moving around the walls a little bit. Not far from where you are, you see that there's one of those signs.
Anybody got any prep you need to do since we got a quiet moment here?
Are we expecting trouble?
Not necessarily, but I mean, it's always like a thing.
Let's get it on. Just open the door and
Cool.
take whatever stairs are there.
Yeah, you open the door, you take the stairs. It's another several flights of stairs. You're passing by every now and then. There's doors that seem to be leading into like floors that are just like utilities. But about another 10 stories, another 10 like flights, you find the door itself just says roof access.
Awesome.
Is it locked or can we open it?
Do you try to open the door?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is locked.
Merv like gets thieves' tools out and is just staring blankly at what I assume is a bar. Like one of the little like push bar doors, like
This actually has like a metal like handle opener with an actual like deadbolt style lock on it.
Sweet.
Okay, I'll try to fucking pick it.
Yeah, sure. Give me a lockpick check.
Just let me make sure. Yeah, I am proficient, so gotta find that. It's my bag of tools. I should get an extra proficiency bonus on top of it. But it did it automatically. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little jiggling of it. The lock itself is, while it looks different than a lot of the ones you see, where you're from, concepts are the same. You find yourself doing familiar movements and work, and then click, the lock opens, and the door leads out into blustering fast wind. It's like you're in a wind, like a storm without rain, as it's just.
Uh, yeah, as we step out and close the door behind us, Merv will like look towards the painting.
You see a painting with a woman that looks like Umeli on a beach.
I mean, we're here, so are we good for her to come out?
I'm gonna activate my Rite of the Dawn first, but then nod. Owie.
Ew. Cool. Voicing your desire for her to exit the painting, Umeli steps through and breathes in a little bit, raises her hand to kind of shield her eyes for a moment. I mean, the wind again is like whipping fast here. Um, you can see she steps close to the edge for a moment and kind of looks down for a while.
How
You
long
see
you
her.
gonna need?
Give me a moment. You don't want to rush this sort of thing. You see her takes one hand, extends it to the left, another hand extends it to the right. She kind of points into the distance. And you see her just kind of tracing lines, muttering a little bit under her breath. And then she turns and says, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, they built it right on top of this thing. This ritual takes time. It's not instantaneous. I can prepare all the runes, begin the incantations. Once it's time, I'll need anyone that has arcane abilities to channel their energy into the runes. I remind you that what we're attempting here is. It has risks, but the more energy you give it, the more stable it will become." She begins to uh, move along, like walking a path around the rooftop, getting a sense of the space of it. Um, she speaks out in Infernal to Baracus. You see Baracus handing her some chalk. And Umeli begins to draw along about a 30-foot in diameter circle. Begins drawing in one circle, an inner circle. This takes time, what it is that she is doing. Um, After about an hour, you see there's a series of complex geometries, both within the circle and in certain places on the circle as well. There seem to be um, 7 main places of focus here. um, all leading
Roll an
in
Arcana
towards.
check.
Yeah, sure. Roll an Arcana check.
Oh,
I mean, it's very clear she's using like arcane runes here. The runes themselves are um, at times unfamiliar, like non-traditional. Things that you wouldn't always expect to see combined together, but you get the on a 10, you because of the size of it and everything, your experience, on the on a 10, you see that it's very clear that these are like anchoring points and points to enhance some kind of uh, transposition, movement of something. Um, you're not sure the finer details, but I mean, she seems to be building a very archaic kind of transportation rune.
Mhm.
Once she's finished that, you see that she gets down and kneels in the center. You see her many hands begin to release from her body and float around her. She begins um, incanting in. Um, does anybody know deep speech?
You are correct.
Okay. She begins incanting in a language that most of you do not recognize, but you begin to piece together parts of what it is that she's saying. She seems to be calling out to entities of the far realm in order for them to break the barriers between worlds such that they may pass. Not the entities, you. The they is the you. Um, you know this to be very dangerous to do.
Mhm. Does when he looks at Baracus, does it look like Baracus is aware of what is happening?
He doesn't seem to. You don't get the sense that he understands what it is that she's saying.
Firm trusts Merv's judgments on these things, and he will go over to Merv and relay what exactly it is that he did. Just only telling Merv at the moment to avoid a mass hysteria.
I mean, ain't much we can do about it, is there?
No, but it looks like we might need to be ready for whatever happens.
Go. I I've been keeping an eye, and I kind of get what this is, but go tell Rainier and Ragnarok.
And he is going to run to Ragnarok first because he knows Ragnarok is like the fastest one out of the whole group. So he would be able to reach Ameli before anybody. And then he will go tell Rainier after. And then Ember and Cal. Because everybody needs to know at this point.
Ragnarok gets on all fours, just ready to pounce.
Yeah, as long as I'm capable, I have a ready to action to attack since my weapon is drawn.
And what would your ready action be?
Probably to shoot Umeli.
Well,
Okay. Are you readying a condition? Otherwise, you know that doesn't work like that.
I think condition wise, um, because we have some comprehension that teleportation requires, like, I, I mean, when we were teleporting, we needed to be connected in order to pass. If it looks like she is about to like cast a spell without us, like if things are beginning to happen such that we are like not in a circle when she's in the circle or something like that, that's the condition I think I want to hold. Is if she's
Gotcha.
bailing out and leaving us.
Okay. She continues on like this, um, about 3 hours.
I'm gonna
Oh,
get
wow.
my 50 feet of silk rope and start like tying harness points into it.
Okay, okay, sure.
Like basically places you can loop it over somebody's head and then cinch it tight.
Sure. Yeah. Were you to try to like cover the circumference of this circle?
No.
You need a lot more than that to
Yeah,
even attach
it's
all of you together.
yeah, it's probably not even gonna try the circumference. It's just a straight line.
Yeah. Um, 3 hours go by of her chanting and chanting, and you can feel energy bit like the whole time very slow, but after 3 hours you can feel there is energy building here in this place, and you can see the runes themselves, all the intricate geometry begins to pulsate. The sky above the tower has been darkening and darkening. um, Another hour goes by in the ritual.
Uh,
There's
at
now, pardon.
at each of the loops, I'm like biting my thumb and writing in like a little like halfling word on each of the like junction points that are gonna circle around someone.
Okay. Another hour goes by in the ritual. The sky is black above the tower. There is lightning striking through the clouds. Um, there is a vortex in the clouds on top of this building here. The city itself is like darkening, almost like it's night, becoming nighttime during the day. You see that your sight lines being so good on top of this building and having so much time, you see that um, there are some of those guard cars heading in the building's direction, seem to be responding to whatever very clearly strange event is occurring above it. You see there's kind of crowds of people on the streets looking up as a stormy vortex, yeah, is above this building in particular and no one else, and nowhere else. You see Umeli begin backing away into one of the seven set geometries in here. Little circles that it's very clear that this is for people to stand in. And then she shouts out loud in common, "Okay, you're going to need to begin channeling energy into this. Everyone, gather around."
We have 6 people, don't we?
It's seven with her. Oh, sorry.
Rowan,
It's
Total
eight altogether. There's 8 places. Yeah,
what's the
one for everyone.
circumference of the circle?
Like 30 feet in diameter.
Yeah. I think I can only get like 3 people tied with the rope. One of them is going to be Amelie. I'll stand to Amelie's right and like basically like walk over to her with like what's clearly like a lasso on the end of the silk rope.
Oh shit.
She looks at you and just goes. She doesn't even say anything. You can see the look in her eyes of like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Really?"
Yeah, I throw it over her head and then cinch it tight around her waist
Yeah.
and do it to myself. I'll do it to
To actually help benefit this, I just looked at it. I do have a silk rope. I'll Firm will hand you his silk rope for 50 feet.
start fucking tying.
Yep.
Yeah, I think were you to use 3 ropes, if you're tying like loops in them, I think 3 ropes is what you would need if you want to get
Okay.
Everyone?
a normal rope, so I'll do the 2 silk ropes and then the normal rope.
Nice.
The silk
Uh,
rope, it might matter. So the normal rope will probably be around whoever is like last in the line. So it might be like who. I don't know. You all could decide amongst you who is standing furthest away from, or probably closest to Umeli on the left side, but furthest away from Merv.
I can take that.
All right. Everybody's looped together.
Yeah.
She begins instructing anyone with arcane energy to begin channeling that into this room. This requires you to put spell slots into the rune to stabilize it. Um, you can tell both her and Baracus, because as they place their hands down on the runes themselves, you can tell they're putting a fair amount of magic into this. Because of like it illuminates near them, like their little circle begins like just burning brightly. The more spell slots that you give, the more stable this is.
What about like levels? Are all levels the same, or do
No, right? Like a first is not as strong as
Mhm.
a third, fourth, so on, right? So the more you give, the stronger, the a better ability for this to succeed and bring you back to it where you want to be. She's not casting, planar travel here, right? That's not the spell she's casting. So she needs your help as much as you need hers in this moment.
Follow-up question. What about for the people who don't have spell slots?
You have to rely that your friends will give enough.
We sit here and look
Okay.
pretty, baby.
Oh no.
also Firm? You got spell slots for days.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are the
Um,
spell slot.
You are correct.
We rested.
No, I
Ca-
know. I was just making sure I understood these rules. I'm not saying I won't. Firm will give in 3, 6, 4. Math. That's 10. Okay. Firm will give 8. 4 level 1s and then 2 level 2s and 2 level 3s.
Shit, dog.
That's a lot.
It was fuck.
Yeah, add all the levels together to give me the total, the level power, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Eight total power levels.
Yes.
Okay.
This is mainly due to the fact that I think there are 2 individuals in
Well,
the group of 8.
I think
Oh, I've been muted this
I
whole
think
time. Son of a
right.
bitch.
I think Dawson. I think you may be giving more power levels than that. Like if you're giving 2 third level slots, that's 6 power levels.
That's 6 by itself.
Yeah,
Plus the
Oh,
4 first, plus you
correct.
said 2
Correct.
second, which is a total of 14. 4,
so
4, and
3,
6.
6 plus 4, 10. Yeah, so 14.
You want to give the 14? Okay.
Hell yeah, my guy.
Cal
do,
Okay.
is
Your circle flares away.
Cal is giving 11.
Well, from my understanding, this is a great time to have a really spell-heavy group.
Cal. Okay. Anyone
Weirdly,
else?
I am not spell heavy.
I am not arcane, so I cannot help.
Your spell slots are spell slots. This is not.
Oh,
whether.
okay.
Yeah, this is not an arcane thing. This is. Do you pump
She-
spells into this? To
She
make it work?
repeatedly said arcane energy, so I just wasn't sure if that was.
You know it's the same, sir.
Sir, my favorite
Weave is
edition is
weave.
4th, where as a cleric I am the
Yeah.
divine power source.
You am your
Even in
battery.
5th, I'm referred to as a divine caster. So.
Yeah,
In that case,
it's
yes,
spell
I
slots,
can
yeah.
sacrifice some spell slots.
Murph's putting in 3. 3
Okay.
power.
Yeah, no problem.
I will do 10 total.
Can I roll an Arcana to see how many Umeli put in?
So
Like,
8.
how much
You
energy?
can. The DC is extremely high because you really don't have a way of knowing that.
It's mostly relative to the flare.
Oh my god.
Well, that's as high as I can get.
Yeah, yeah.
What is all the natural? We're gonna. Adam,
We're gonna
doomed.
die, everybody.
We're gonna die.
Yeah,
man, it's
somebody's
over.
dying.
Hell yeah. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, you see Umeli puts in 16 power into this thing.
Right behind her.
I will smirk at her and say, "That all you got?"
Oh my god.
Boy, the thing is she hates you.
Exactly.
She does hate you.
Yep.
I'm gonna roll to see if she gets goaded by you.
Dear god.
I'm gonna roll her own insight if she
Uh-huh.
rolls.
The best part is Merv is blatantly goading her.
Yeah. No, she knows that you know.
Yeah.
Know. We all know it. Okay, if she rolls, no, she has no skill in insight. If she rolls a 10 or below, she'll blow a spell slot. She'll blow more power into it.
This.
Okay, she made an 18 total. So she glowers at you, and resists putting in that much power. You see, there's a little bit of a flare. She gives another 1 into it. Brings it to
Sounds like someone doesn't
17.
want to get home. Someone's totally fine with dying here with us.
Merv just like tucks his smile into his scarf, basically like,
You have no idea.
Fucking bitch.
I know I got her for one. That's all that matters. Get
not like
fucked.
it's not like she's super hopeful when she gets back to where we're going. So
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, he can't use that one. You see, Baracus puts in 12 all
Dang.
together with Baracus. Okay. I think.
We're in like the
I'm hearing
50s, I think.
Firm is casting this spell, is what I'm hearing.
She's got me beat by 2.
Yeah, we're like in the maybe upper 50s, low 60s. I don't remember how much Ember had.
Okay.
I did 10.
Yeah, she did.
La-
10. Yeah.
Last question
Mm-hmm.
that just, because conceitedness. If I devote the last 2, could I what check could I make to sort of I guess it would be an intimidation, but he sucks at intimidation. Using all of the spell slots and adding in 5 more, he really wants to go with Merv's idea of just antagonizing Umeli and making it known that he is putting in more effort than she is.
I mean, if you push all of your magic into this, like the runes will respond and flare to you. Like it'll be very clear if you dump all your magic energy into this rune.
Yes, but he wants to make it very clear, yes, but direct it directly to Umeli and be like, "Well, I thought you were supposed to be better than me."
It will not be lost on her, right? Like what you're talking about is an immense amount of power dumped into a ritual like this. Like everyone will be aware of how much strength you are giving to it.
Then yes, I will use my last 2 because why not? So that would make it from 14 plus 5, so 19.
Dawson, I'm obsessed with you.
Fuck.
Plus 5. Woo-hoo. Okay.
This is Firm's spell now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a threshold to hit for different safety levels, and with Firm doing that, you've pushed beyond all of them. This rune flares with energy. Lightning strikes the tower. That lightning pours down into this rune. Each of the circles that you are standing in, so like a column of light beams up from the bottom upwards from you. There's 8 columns of light just shooting up into the sky. Looking upward into that vortex, you see the sky itself break open and a vast sea of stars and nebula. And moving within that vast sea, you see horrifically undescribable things squirming and things reaching down through their reality to this one. And as that begins to occur, the light of this rune explodes upwards and outwards. You are rocketed upwards into these stars. The light growing brighter and brighter and brighter. You see yourself passing through the tear in this reality as it slams shut behind you, preventing these entities from making their way through to that world. You feel yourselves lost in this space for a moment before being pulled backwards, as if everything, all the stars are shooting out away from you and you are being rocketed backwards. Tied together, you look around, the rope is still there. You can see the outlines of your allies as everyone is just like flailing and flailing around. And then you find yourselves in a very cold, very dark place once more. It is pitch black. There is a dull pulsing nearby. The artifact that had brought you to that strange place is long dormant. You see just the bit of energy slowly pulsating from it. You see the broken remains of constructs nearby. You see no lanterns. But you were all tied to each other.
Does Baracus still have the lantern that we gave him earlier on? Or would he have stuffed that with our stuff so we have one with us?
I'd say he would have put it in the bag of holding, right, to not carry it around the whole time.
Yeah, I will like pull it out and like basically like very panicked pull it out, like strike it so it lights, or how like if there's a switch or something, and put it on the ground.
Yeah, you see, like, you set it down. There's like there isn't an activation thing on it. Like it's
Yeah.
basically it's either working or broken, right?
Merv was the only one that got hit by one of them, and he's fucking terrified.
Yeah. Yours is currently still functional. You set it down on the ground, and there's just a emanation. It's not light. There's just an emanation of energy that comes out of it. So it doesn't provide additional illumination. You currently only have Rainier's illumination.
I will pop a globe of fire in my hand.
I will also pop dancing lights.
Cal will light one of his rings and will also put his cloak of the bearfolk back on and stuff the cloak of finery in his bag.
Baracus, how long until you can take us back? Do I need to camp here again?
No. I didn't use that magic. I need a minute, maybe more.
Umele,
Uh,
if you'd be so kind to get back in the painting.
She's looking at all of you. What will you do with me?
I believe you'll be able to hear us discuss that from within the painting.
She nods and will step into the painting.
Put the painting in the bag.
it's too big a cross.
No, that's yeah, we can't.
I wish I could fold it. I mean, we take her back. Baracus, are your people capable of fucking containing her?
There are rooms designed for such a thing.
If she has information, then that's the only thing she's useful for. Not help, not assistance, not getting out and doing magic. But it keeps her alive. And that's more or less the only condition under which I'm not gonna kill her. So where's everybody else feeling?
Well, I don't think we can draw that line. I mean, once we hand her over, then whoever we hand her over to is going to make those calls. I mean, I, for one, think we
I
should
mean,
hand her over either to the authorities in Bastion or the Arcanium or both and let them fight it out. I mean, can you imagine the boon to our reputations if we bring back alive the war criminal that destroyed Karakara?
There is movement in the shadows surrounding you. You see 2, 3, 6 of these creatures just pulling themselves up out of the shadows and testing the limits of this barrier that you've set up. As Baracus is hurriedly wiping away snow from the stone surface to begin building a teleportation circle.
I am deliberately standing guard over him.
I'm going to spend 3 sorcery points to recover a second level spell slot.
Hell yeah.
I would just like to shift the dancing lights to cover like these 3 points. One here, here, and here.
Yeah, a little more vision in the darkness.
I'm gonna walk up so I'm facing the painting and like look up into Melly's eyes and say, "You claim to want to save this world, and you staying in that painting, you coming with us, you going into captivity. That's my best offer for you. So if you take it, you stay the fuck in the painting."
You
He
see no
doesn't look for a
movement.
response. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He just turns
they
away.
can't move while they're in the painting.
Mm-hmm. I will cast. I don't think it may or may not be helpful, but I'll cast enhance ability on Baracus for intelligence checks.
Sure.
I assume he's a wizard.
He is a wizard.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna even have to roll, but Merv wouldn't know that, so Merv is trying to. Cal had to roll.
Yeah. He gives you he gives you a weak smile and nods his head. in confirmation of what you've done.
The effect is he's essentially like pulling out a bottle and then just spritzing him with some liquid on the back of his head and giving him a bandaged thumbs up.
So he definitely like waves you away, like stop that.
It's gonna make you better.
Okay. With the light with the energy lantern protecting you from creatures here, you are able to safely create a teleportation circle and not be attacked by shadows of the darkness.
Bro.
Boom.
Good fucking shit, Max. Holy fucking shit.
The
Oh my god.
the teleportation circle alights, and Baracus rushes you all through and saying, "There's only a few moments." You all run through it. You feel that same rushing sensation, and suddenly you are in a very warm place. You're in a stone chamber lit by torchlight. There are 2 guards present inside this room that you appear in. You see there are runes that are just dimming now, built into the floor itself. The guards look at you all. At first, they begin like moving for their swords before you see recognition, and then they see Baracus, the last one to appear. Master Mobarad, you have used the circle. We wonder where you were given permission. He looks at them and says, "The headmaster allowed me access. Just this once." Very well. Their swords go down. You've brought the 5th season. Yes. I need to see the headmaster immediately. We brought with us quite a prize. You see one of the guards look at each other, one shakes his head, and then gestures to the door to exit out of this chamber. And then one of them will head off to go get the headmaster. Baracus gestures for all of you to exit the room.
Yep.
um,
Still in my denim and hoodie
hell yeah.
and sunglasses.
Hell yeah. The guard in the room closes the doors to the chamber. Baracus steps a few steps like into the hallway, and you see him just kind of lean against the edge of the walling for a moment, just kind of breathing. I wasn't sure we were actually going to make it home.
Oh, yes, I'm quite stunned we're here. But well done.
Well, you only have me to thank for getting back to Bastion. We have her to thank that we're here at all.
Don't let that get to your head.
I'm afraid the thing that's gotten to my head is what you've done, Merv. If I had known for a moment that you did what you did, I never would have helped any of you. That was not a cost I was willing to pay, and you made the choice for me, and you made me complicit in it.
I appreciate that. And you don't have to trust me anymore. That's I take the cost on my head, and if I knew what I know now, I wouldn't do it again. But I don't have any regrets.
Sound an awful lot like Umeli move.
Yep. Luckily, I have a group of people who could probably put me down before I could do anything much worse than that.
After we settle this business with Umeli, and she is secured away, I suggest if you have business elsewhere, perhaps you look into that for a while as I reassess the nature of our relationship.
If I leave them, will you keep working with them?
I don't know the answer to that. I just need time.
Consider that it was the decision I made, not them.
But no one stopped you. Even I did.
Like I said, I take it on my hands and my soul. I don't have any regrets, but I wouldn't do it again.
Then the headmaster of the Arcanium appears, trailed by several guards. I need to find his name. Ah, Finthrill Marathar. He approaches the group. I understand you've brought something quite important to be calling at such a late hour.
Murph silently points at the painting.
As he steps forward and looks a bit. It's a painting of a tropical beach with an old lady on it.
That would be Umeli of the Nine Hands. In the flesh. Once she comes out. But I wouldn't recommend it unless she's in under lock and key.
You're shitting me.
Shake my head.
Looks to Baracus. Baracus nods. You did this?
A nod with like a head gesture to the whole group.
Mm-hmm. Remarkable. Alive as well.
She says she has visions of extraplaners coming to this world. Says that everything she's been doing, theoretically, has been to stop them and get an
Hmm.
army of undead from the Dread Lookout to enforce this upon, enforce a unity of Idari.
Sounds like the ravings of a mad woman, but there are ways we can find the truth.
Should
Isn't
we
that right?
should we inform the voice that we've brought Umeli back alive?
I shall take care of alerting the rest of the council. In the meantime, we should get her into one of her antechambers. It will reduce her magic potential. He holds his hand out for the painting.
Will I be getting this back
Of
as I hand
course.
the painting over?
Of course.
Wonderful.
You see the master holds on to the painting, looks at all of you. And it seems Bastion owes you all a great debt once more. I will see it repaid.
Also, if you could see it printed that way, that would be lovely.
Mhm. We will make sure the populace knows. The 5th season, Heroes of Bastion. He gives you all a nod and then turns to take Umeli away. You hear him discussing security precautions and plans, guards on site at all times, that sort of thing, as they disappear down the hallway.
Oh.
Baracus looks at all of you and says, I will escort you to the courtyard, and you'll know your way from there. He takes you to the courtyard, wishes you well.
As we're departing, I just say to him, take your time. Let us know.
He gives you a nod and turns back to enter into the Arcanium. It is evening here in Bastion. Where is it you all would like to go?
Fucking home.
Warm meal? Pint of ale, pint of ale, pint of ale?
I could do.
I'm just gonna go sit in my tent.
Merv, please. We just returned from Extraplanar Nightmare. Don't go pout alone.
I'm not pouting. I just don't have anything left in the tank. Y'all go and decide if you want me to stick around. Best you have that conversation when I'm not there.
Merv heads off to the tent. The rest of you find inn for a drink.
Sounds like it.
All right. You head in, get some drink, some food. Before we end our session tonight, you overhear some of the people speaking that are still in the tavern nearby, still in the tavern with you. They're talking about upcoming work schedules and the tensions between the two cities. As they begin discussing dates, you realize that 2 entire months have passed. And you are in the month of Myrtle now. The first of Myrtle.
That put us into summer?
It puts you, I believe, on the back end of spring.
Okay.
Well, at least as far as I think my calendar has the seasons a little different than the true D&D calendar.
I just assumed since we campaign started with a big beginning of spring event, so 2 like 3 months have passed since then. So
Yeah. It should be the back end of spring. I'm gonna actually, if I push it forward, when is it? It's actually still it's a little bit of ways from summer, but yeah, the back end of spring.
did we miss green grass?
Did you miss green grass? Maybe. Yes, you did.
Damn it!
Yeah. Yeah. Which is green grass its own month? Because that might be
It's
one of
its
the-
own
It's a single
day.
holiday
yeah, the single day.
Yeah.
outside of a month. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 4 of those.
Yeah. That's so not as huge of a time jump because it's 2 months in this year. Yeah, the first of Murtal.
Ember realizes that and immediately casts Sending. It's my
Oh.
last 3rd level slot.
Oh.
Yeah, who do you want to send to?
I am sending to my dad. I need to make sure that everything is okay. That is 2 months worth of mining that got away from us.
What do you say?
Oh God.
You want to just
Hey Dad, it's
summarize
Ember
it?
Prime. Been a while, didn't realize how long. How's everything in Morass? How's everything in the mine? Did they ever stop? That should be under 25.
Okay, cool. He responds back. Oh, Ember, it's so good to hear from you. We haven't heard from you in a while. Been worried. Your mother met with the Sinku, but they're still digging. I'm sorry. Not much we can do about that.
Well, at least she's taking me seriously, but they didn't stop. She doesn't have complete control, so. But everybody's still okay. Everybody's still alive. Haven't broken into anything dangerous yet.
Merv, when you get to your tent, a lot of the grass is kind of overgrown everywhere, but where your tent was, from all the
Good. Even-
chemical activity,
Even better.
Permanent lawn.
Beautiful. I did acid splash
You
the
fucking
hole that it
vinegared
was
my
on,
dirt.
yeah.
All right, let's get a
They're
druid
like-
out here.
It's even like Merv's size, almost in relief that it will just be contained like a little hole.
Never sell this property now.
Yeah. Cool, and that's the end of our session. We'll pick up again next.